Yay, yay. Hey, good morning, Grand Rising, my ladies. Hey. Mercedes. Let me see. I'm feeling good. I'm ready to go. Get this thing popping. Bless. Okay, now that's what I'm talking about. I'll be needing this song, y'all, the whole thing, to just get it going. Yay, yay. Grand Rising to all my amazing and beautiful people, my One Love Nation. I see y'all out there. Today's topic is parenting and discipline. I want to give a shout out to Plus Size Chick for coming up with the topic and providing a lot of the information we're going to be looking at today. All right. And let me see where we at. So parenting and discipline. I mean, most of us have children that are in here. Hey, y'all keep me in your prayers. I'm going through something personal. Always blessed. Always, Queen. We got you. Prayer warriors on the way. So, let me see this. Discipline. The practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. The controlled behavior resulting from discipline. Okay, so it's your boy, Vocal Excellence, Grand Rising. You just had to get on your kids yesterday? Well, you know, it's a common thing. I was reading this article in so I'll misquote it. verywellfamily.com, and it was talking about some of the reasons why we do spank or discipline our children. So how many of y'all spank y'all kids? Grand Rising, Queen Dopest. Got you this morning, didn't I? Got you. Also, you guys, before I get too far into this topic, I want to remind y'all to send me pictures because I'm gonna do a social media night on YouTube where I'm gonna be constantly putting up your pictures with your social media links or whatnot, names, usernames. So yeah, that's gonna be dope. So make sure most of y'all have a way to contact me. So your Instagram, Twitter, your YouTube. I'm gonna do one for Queen. Queen, make sure you give me something so I could put up for your morning motivation. I'm gonna do a little quick commercial break to show these during my broadcast here in the morning. And also, like I said, we're gonna do a social media night where it's just gonna be all about putting up you guys' information so we could all get locked in. Used to now just take stuff and don't allow them to do some things that they want. I mean, who else? Does anybody? I know some people. I mean, most of us got ass whoopings. All right, let me put this up. We're gonna get right to this. Let me see. Is this it? Watch this, y'all. Now, this man, that came out of a piece in the Chicago Sun. Again, thank you to Plus Size Chick for hitting me with this, with some of the information. Did you see that? I ain't got my ass whooped way worse than that. I mean, we talked about it in fatherless homes. Like, my dad wasn't playing. I ain't gonna lie. I used to tell Marley I was gonna whoop her. She'd just run. I ain't even gonna front. She used to just take off. Like, pew. I may have spanked Marley once or twice. Mo, he 11 now. He probably haven't had a spanking since he was 5. That's what I'm saying. He caught a lot of flack over that, though. He wasn't playing at all, huh? Let's look at it again. Sit your down. You better sit your ass down, too. And you, how many times did I tell your mother ass to sit the fuck? One more time. I'm sorry, y'all. Sit your down. Did I tell you to sit down? And you, did I tell your ass to? Yeah, I remember them kind of whoopings. I definitely remember them kind of whoopings. I definitely remember them kind of whoopings. But I don't believe in what they call corporal punishment and what black folks call ass whoopings. My son instantly used to cry and repeat what I said when I used to say I was going to whoop him. Yeah. I still give out them whippings. Yeah, I knew it was some of y'all in here that used to get them whippings too. Yeah. I remember, okay, my oldest 2 children. Okay, I'm going to tell you why I don't use corporal punishment. We'll talk about some of the other forms of parenting and discipline. I don't use corporal punishment because it didn't work for me. It didn't work for me. And I have a vivid memory of when my daughter was 2, my oldest child, Ashanti. When she was 2, I spanked her, and I was upset, and I think I spanked her too hard for me. Maybe I probably didn't, but for me, it fucked me up because I was thinking about, like, man, you know, my dad was he was mentally abusive, but he wasn't playing when it came to the physicalities, okay? But yeah, so I remember vividly whooping my daughter, spanking her. It wasn't really a whooping, a spanking. And I felt so bad because I was thinking like, man, that shit didn't help me. I never spanked either of them two, my oldest children. My oldest son has never got a whipping from me. His mom, on the other hand, my ex-wife, she's with the business. She is definitely with the business. Yeah, switches. Yeah, that's a great point, plus size chick. Whoopings don't do nothing to him no more. I'm going to fast forward. I got my two youngest children, and I remember my mother-in-law, I was having a conversation. It was so funny because this is so not what I would expect to hear from her, because she's the sweetest person on planet Earth. She was like, you're going to have to spank, Mo, at least once or twice. She told me that. And I remember I did try spanking as a discipline with Mo. And the boy just used to, after the first time, I swear, the boy just used to look up at me like this while he was getting a whooping. And I said, man, the pain didn't do nothing to him. I said, you don't want to have to hurt your kids to get your point across. So that was out. Ain't no spankings. Trust me, I throw it out there. My baby daddy hate to hit our daughter because he's scared of his. Exactly. That's the last thing I want to do is injure or hurt my child in that way. And as I've been doing some reading, and I'm gonna get into it with y'all too, it has a lot longer lasting effect. And then as I was reading, it actually says something to do more about the behavior of the parent than it does of the child. I don't believe it works because it teaches the child that aggression is a form of resolution. It teaches the child that aggression is a form of resolution. So you'll be surprised later on in life how that'll translate, because I don't know. I mean, these kids now be killing and fighting back because they never got whoopings. Well, back in the day, every child is different. Some it works on, some it doesn't. I just found my kids seem a lot more concerned with, well, not both of them. My daughter, she seems a lot more concerned if she disappoints me, more so than getting a whooping. Because I'm gonna be honest, I got to the point when I was a kid, I didn't care if I got in trouble or I got a whooping, because the pain don't last forever. That's how I used to be. I used to be like, fuck it, I'm gonna get a whooping for this, but oh well, I'm gonna try it. I remember one of the things I did, I got my report card. It was all fucked up. I think I was in like 3rd grade or some shit. And, I signed my mom's name on it. But remember, I'm in 3rd grade. So really think hard about that. I was in 3rd grade. So think about how that signature looked. You know what I'm saying? I knew I would. Come on, I looked at the signature. I said, man, I'm barely learning cursive. Grand Rising, Nacho. Because if you don't spank them when they need, the police gonna get them. But is spanking the only tool? Let me read what it says. The problems with spanking. This is from Very Well Family. This is an article they got up. Very Well Family. The problems with spanking. Number 1, it doesn't teach appropriate behavior. A child who gets spanked for arguing with their sibling won't learn how to get along better in the future. Spanking degrades trust and self-confidence while only teaching a child what not to do. So, here's the thing. Do you spank with an explanation? Or do you spank strictly saying, you ain't going to do this or that again? Grand Rise, my mom never whipped me in the moment. She waited until she wasn't mad anymore. Then I got a whooping. I feel as a parent, whoopings are not good, but it let the child know when you do the crime, you got to do the time. Well, I mean, in this day and age of cell phones, Xboxes, fucking Nintendo Switches, trust me, I think if I went in there and took my son's iPhone away, it would serve a greater deterrent than an ass whooping. And I mean, like I said, I have spanked Mo. But I am adamant about after the spanking, I go back in and talk to him. I've never spanked my child and spanked him, walked off, and left it at that. That's never happened. And partially is because I feel bad. So, I've spanked him, and then I will go in there and sit down. I have a thing where I tell my kids, like, I just never and I'm probably was the same way. Like, you have to yell at your kids to get them to do what you want. They won't do it if you ask nice, right? Not all kids, but most kids. Yeah, you gotta sit down and explain the reasons as to why. But I'm gonna keep it real with you. When you sit down and explain the reasons as to why you whip your child or spank your child, it don't sound right to me. So I'd be like, I get more angry at my child that I had to spank you. Like, I really get, like, that's what I say to like, Mo, why can't you just do what I asked you to do the first time? Why did I have to come in here and do, why do I have to yell? Because I really don't even like yelling at my children. Joy attests to this. I can give my kids a look. I've never seen, well, I take that back. I've only seen Joy spank our children one time. I can't, that's not how she go about parenting, really, from my experience. But I feel horrible. I'm not gonna lie. It ain't nothing about spanking my kids. Nah, it's nothing about that. Yeah, but it's in it. Again, I gotta continue to shout out Plus Size Chick because this was her topic she brought to the table. She did most of the research on this, if not all. So I'm really just the presenter. I think it's best used when kids are young to help them earn a healthy fear. Yeah. Okay. Let's continue on verywellfamily.com. It says it models aggression. Children do what parents do more than what they say. If you spank your child for hitting their sibling, for example, you're sending a confusing message. What? That is, just listen to that right there. That's serious. If you spank your child for hitting their sibling, you're sending a confusing message. My son tells me now, why do I have to yell in my... It alerts him. Start early, 6 months, when they start crawling, a light pop on the hand to establish an understanding. I swear to goodness, Joy's mom told me, I said, I never spank Kasai and Ashanti. They don't get no whoopings. And I remember it, and it just, like I said, Joy's mom is a small, sweet, amazing woman. And to hear out of her mouth, she said, well, Dre, I hate to tell you, you're going to have to spank Mo. I was like, what? I just couldn't believe she said that. She's like, you're going to have to do it. And that's exactly what she said is what Sunshine said. To earn, to establish an understanding. And that's exactly, it is literally like training a puppy. Well, if we go back to, let's go back to this real quick. Discipline, the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior, using punishment to correct disobedience. Okay, well, I don't know if they do this in school anymore, but I'm not gonna lie to you. One of the most angry times, remember I just told y'all about me forging a signature? Remember I told y'all about me forging a signature? Main Event Media, I disagree with that. Okay, you disagree with what part? I got in trouble for forging my mom's signature on my report card. Not only did I get whooping at home, but guess what? I got a whooping at school. Dr. Kellner, he was our principal. That motherfucker had a paddle that was as wide as these shoulders. I got a whooping at school. I was so upset with my mom that she allowed this big crew cut haired white man to whoop my ass. I was pissed. I mean, look, I'm fucking 47. I still remember it like it was yesterday. I was so fucking upset. You disagree with establish. This is a person establishing an order. Okay. I respect that. Like I said, I don't necessarily believe in spankings. Like, I don't believe even the ones I did with Mo when he was very young. I don't think they served a purpose. I agree with that, main Event Media. But again, we have people with different parenting skills. I don't knock anybody for, as long as it doesn't hit the line of abuse, or something like that. But everybody have different parenting skills. I've been enlightened to the meaning of discipline. It is. So, yeah, exactly. Do you have children, Main Event Media? If so, how do you go about the process of disciplining? Because that's what we are talking about in here, parenting and discipline. It does nothing. I'm going to tell you what else spanking does. Let me tell you what spanking. It creates shame in your child. You start to, especially if you spank them on a pretty regular basis, it starts to form shame in your child. Discipline is presented as a necessary concept when controlling one's actions without them having a choice is close to abuse. I have 4. I mean, I can't disagree. You spare the rod, you spoil the child. I mean, that's an old school way of thinking. They need to be ashamed of their actions. But is physicality the only way to make a child feel shamed? Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I go in the house and tell Marley she let me down, like I'm disappointed, I don't even have to whoop her. Like she's gonna break down. She will be ashamed of her actions. You can see it in her face. If you explain what she did and how she did it and where it's wrong, she will be ashamed of her actions. Look, I was again. I mean, I don't know about a child doesn't need to be ashamed or taught. That's your opinion. You should look being ashamed of something that you do, especially when it's wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? I'm a grown man. I say and do things. Then I look back on it. Yeah, I'm kind of ashamed I did that. I reacted in that way. That has nothing to do with being a child or a grown up. There's certain actions that you should be ashamed of. Yeah, definitely. It does. It goes back to each child is different. Look, my oldest son is in prison. Okay, I'm a firm. Look, and since he's been in prison, I think he's had close to 20 fights in prison. Now, his mom, her way of discipline was different than mine. His mom used to put on boxing gloves. I got a pair of her boxing gloves here now. And she used to box with my son ever since he was little. She used to literally put hands on him. And as he got older, those gloves came off, and it was literally fists. His uncle was the same way. His step pops, from what I've learned later on, I guess his step pops was the same way as well. It didn't. It had the adverse effect on my son. No, I agree. Main event. No, but you had said something about a child doesn't need to be ashamed or taught. You're gonna feel some form of shame if you're taught what you did was wrong. It's part of your conscience, right? Like if I go out and I make, let's just say hypothetically, I'm a child, I go out, I make fun of a special needs child. Okay? Now at the time it's funny, all my classmates are laughing. But as a child, if my parents sits back and say, hey, that kid was born different, this, that, and the other, if you have any kind of conscience or compassion within you, unless you like a borderline, a young, budding schizophrenic, child or something, you're gonna feel some kind of way. That's shame. That's shame. If you explain it to your child in the right way, that kid has disabilities, it was born that way, they can't, do the things that you do. I know my kids. I don't know about everybody else's kids. Somebody else's kids might say, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? You're gonna feel some type of shame. Because here's the other point with ass whoopings. Let's just keep it real. Especially if you come from a single parent household with a mother and you're a young man, right? My mama's ass whoopings didn't do nothing to me after a certain point. So she had to elevate. I remember one time my mama, she bit me. She had no other choice. She had no other way to get across to me. She had to throw shit at me. You acting like shame is not a natural emotion, main event. Shame is a natural emotion. There's no way around it. If you at a point in your life, I think you taking shame to like the umpteenth degree. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, shame ain't like you let the whole world down. Like, if you act out of character as a grown-up, you should be, like, if you act out of character, I'm ashamed of my actions. I was ashamed of my actions. I mean, that happens to me as an adult. We're not perfect beings. You speaking as like, you know what I mean? You don't have the shame conscience. So you can say or do whatever you want and there's no shame applied to it. It don't matter if you grown, a kid. We're human beings. Okay? We're human beings. And especially at a child's age, there's more shame that comes along with making mistakes. Like, shame is not a bad thing unless you make it a bad thing. To feel shamed allows you to correct certain behaviors in you. If you don't have that, if you don't have shame, then that means you're lacking a conscience. They should, if I've done wrong, let me give you yesterday we talked about DJ Vlad, right? DJ Vlad is a grown ass fucking adult, right? He should be ashamed of, and he was, because he took the title down. He should be ashamed of his actions and the things that he said as a grown man. As a grown man. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. Shame is not, yeah, I mean, you making it seem like, shame is like this. To shame someone is different than you being ashamed of your actions. Like, to shame someone for something that is not wrong, that's different. That's almost like on the borderline of bullying, right? We're not talking about that. We're talking about if your actions are wrong, you should be ashamed of them. Why? I don't understand that part. I'm ashamed of those actions. I don't want to repeat them. So, like, if I got drunk and went on here and you came in here with your own opinions and your own, and I try to shame you for having those opinions, nah, I'm not. You have a right to those opinions. I can't shame you for having an opinion. Now, if you came in here and said, all you bitches is wrong, everybody in this shit is sound dumb as fuck, you should be ashamed of that, on how you carried yourself in presenting the message. Shaming a child is a diet whooping. Think about it. If whoopings are bad, then all the negative reinforcements gotta go. Positive reinforcement is the only way. That's why. But you have no control if it shames them. This is what I'm trying to relate to you. You have no control if it shames them. If I sit down, like I said, if I go in my house right now and say, Marley, come here. You see how you were supposed to turn in all this work all week and you didn't turn in anything? You're supposed to be doing this every day of the week. Now you're going to be behind your classmates if you don't keep up with the work. I know my child is going to be ashamed that she didn't put her work in. That's not a bad thing. Now, how you work with it after that, that's where we delve into these other issues. But as far as like me presenting to my child where they were wrong, now if you riding on them like you're gonna be a loser if you don't do this, you'll never be nothing in life if you don't turn your work in, and this, that, and other, that's different. That's different. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, I guess it's two different ways to shame someone. You know what I'm saying? But if you explain to your child and they feel ashamed of what they did, you can't control that. You cannot control that. I mean, I coach my son's soccer team, right? Right? If I point out to my son while he's playing soccer, you was supposed to do this, and your teammate was running right by, and you was walking, you wasn't trying to get open for the ball, this, that, and the other. If I do that to him in front of everybody, right? He feels like he let me down. He feels a little ashamed of himself that he wasn't giving his all, that he wasn't running. Like, just as you could use it like, it's different coaching methods. You have coaches that yell to get the best out of their players. You have players, what they call players coaches, that try to adhere more to what the players feel and think. Same thing with parenting. You have different styles of parenting, but to your kid to be ashamed of their actions, it's a difference between shaming your child and telling your kid what they did wrong and then being ashamed of their actions. I think it's a difference. Being shamed and being ashamed, I think it's actually two completely different words, right? Right? Being shamed and ashamed, I think they're two completely different words. Yeah, but in correcting a wrong, a kid naturally is gonna feel ashamed. Like, I know if my mom told me something, I feel like I let her down. I feel like I let her down. That's where the shame comes in. You letting your parents down. Just like if you make a bad, let's just say you make a bad decision with money. Let's use this in a grown-up context, right? An adult context. Say Christmas is coming up. Follow me on this main event because I like what you bringing to the table. Christmas coming up. I just got a Christmas bonus. My boy said, man, let's go to the casino. I said, okay, let's go to the casino. We go to the casino. I have a choice to gamble or not to gamble. I just got this $600 bonus at work, and I choose to gamble that bonus, and I lose. Now the things I wanted to provide for my family for Christmas, I'm not going to be able to provide. I should be ashamed, right? Hey, what's up, Nicole? I should be ashamed, right, of my actions, right? I don't need nobody to tell me that. I know when I walk in the house, look at my wife, look at my kids, even fucking for God's sake, look at my dogs. I'm going to be ashamed. I didn't need nobody to shame me. I should be ashamed of my actions. And that's precisely what I'm saying about your children. Believe it or not, they tiny human beings. They're going to be ashamed of their actions. You know what I mean? Like if something break in the house, my kids ain't scared of getting no whooping because something broke. I promise you that. They more disappointed and upset with themselves that they broke something. They not worrying about no whooping. Because if most I'm going to do is yell, well, why you didn't do this and put that over there before you did this, that, and the third. Well, I know through the course of my counseling, a lot of times I know I have to walk away and come back and address the situation later, sunshine. I mean, plus size. Yeah, but generally speaking, people don't like to let people down. Generally speaking, right? Especially somebody that you know and love. Generally speaking, you do not like to let the people. Y'all know that's my biggest thing. That's the number one thing that pushes me to even get up and do this show, right? Right? I struggle. I struggle in the morning to get up and do the show. But guess one of the main factors that makes me get up and do this show? Y'all think about it. I don't want to let y'all down. I took a sleeping pill last night. Joyce said, oh shit, you better text everybody now and tell them you're going to miss the show tomorrow. I swear to God, that's what she said. And she in here so she could tell you. She said, oh shit, you better text everybody and let them know you're going to miss the show tomorrow. Oh, see, but that's different. That's different. It's gonna be some ass whoopings. My kids raise their hands to me. That might be where it stopped. Nah, that might be where it stopped. You know what I'm saying? Nah, real shit. That might be where it stopped. Either that or they not eating no food out my house. They'll be earning their own meals. But again, when we talking about discipline, do you think it doesn't shame them when you, okay, how do you think it feels? Where me, I gotta start walking away or just, yeah, I do that. You're right. I do have to walk away. I do have to walk away. I agree with that. Let me ask you this. Since, okay, um, do you think, do you do timeouts or do you do restrictions where you take away something that they enjoy having? Like, what's your way of dealing with discipline, main event media? Because I'm gonna tell you this: if you're gonna say I take things away from them that they like, or I put them on, because there's a study out, and I should have actually, I didn't really think we was gonna get to this point, but we might have to bring this up another time. My son actually taught me this because he's incarcerated and he was doing some reading, and he found out when you put a child on punishment, the kind of punishment where they're locked in their room, studies have found out a lot of those children end up in prison. As they say, it's almost like you're psychologically preparing them for incarceration. That's a study. That's not my words. That's somebody that actually did some research on this. I do regret that. I have spanked Mo while I was angry, and I think he could see the anger in my face, and I hated that. That part I did hate, and that's like I said, it's one of the reasons why I do not spank my children. Never spanked them. Just saying the way in which we try to control them without whippings are even more trauma. Yeah, okay. So what we in here trying to do, we point out some things, creating this dialogue for the reasons I would love to hear other parenting tactics. Right. I talk to them and make sure they understand the what and why of the situation. And in doing so, you don't think they may feel ashamed of their actions naturally? Because again, like I said, human beings, for the most part, a lot of us come with a conscience. I mean, you could though, sunshine. That part is true because, like I said, my stepfather locking me in a room for my stepfather locked me in a room for damn near 3 months, for the whole summer. I remember for the whole summer, it was like being in prison. All I could do was see the outside from my bedroom. Didn't get to go outside. All I could do was see the outside from my bedroom for 3 months. To me, that's the most sound. But Nacho, I'm just this is just for argument's sake. People say um there's problem with that too. So you can find a problem with any of this shit. I'm gonna just keep it real. They say it's a problem when your kid gets good grades and you reward them for getting good grades. They say there's an issue with that. They say it's an issue with that. Because then they say that, uh, they only do good things if rewarded for them. But I find myself shaming them in reaction based on my childhood in spite of making a strong effort to not. Yeah. Well, I know this. I don't want my children to experience the childhood that I did. You know what I mean? I don't. You know, my mom was not a physical mom. Like, she didn't whoop me all the time. But there was times where I was bad or whatever you may say, and she attempted to try to whip me. It didn't have no effect. Because like I said, I had gotten into my head that pain, and even to this day, that's why I ain't scared to fight. I'm a little dude, but I wouldn't give a fuck fighting a nigga 6'2", 6'3", 250. It don't matter. Pain don't last forever. That's always been my mindset, and that came from whoopings. So that shit might end up getting me killed one day if I really took that approach. I don't care. Pain don't last forever. It sure don't. A nigga can end your pain real fast. Right. But some people do, sunshine. You ain't gotta tell some kids do. Some kids do. I just don't see it. I think it's enough evidence out there to support. To me, I just don't think sometimes, like you say, you come from what you come from, and then you pass it on down to the next generation. It's just because of what you used to. But I think if parents took more time to research and maybe find alternative methods, maybe they wouldn't spank. Maybe they wouldn't. I mean, like I said, you get up to a certain age, this shit don't work. Right, right. I mean, and it's the truth. But again, you know, this is a very touchy topic, especially in the black community. You know why? Because in the black community, the first thing people say, you ain't gonna tell me how to raise my motherfucking child. You ain't gonna tell me what to do and how to. That's mine. That's mine. That's what they gonna say. You still look good, always doing something positive. You go. Is that my girl from New York? That show is you. Um, yeah, that I mean, for real. Am I? I'm glad I got whoopings because it made me a better person. Whoopings I got ain't do shit. All them whoopings did was leave me with stitches over my eyes and a whole bunch of trauma. That's all. I ain't gonna lie, them whoopings made me want to be the exact opposite of my dad. Ferry me. Yeah, that's. Oh, New Jersey. Brown Sugar's daughter? Is that Brown Sugar's daughter? You in Pennsylvania? Follow me on Instagram, because I gotta holler at you. I gotta catch up with you. Hold on. Let me put my Instagram in there. Don't tell me you ain't got no Instagram. You better go make one. Ferry me. Go follow me on Instagram right there at the King Dopest. Yeah. I gotta catch up with you, man. Man, I be thinking about you because, your struggles and what you going through. I ain't talked to you in a long time. I hardly. What? I'm sorry, King, you didn't deserve that. Not in that nigga's eyes. That nigga thought I deserved all them ass whoopings. You know what I'm saying? Yes, make sure y'all hit the thumbs up. We lacking, we lacking. Thank you, onelovefam.com. I mean, I guess the bottom line is everybody's so busy saying that they right. They don't really sit back to analyze and evaluate where they may be wrong. Now, I think I changed the number, though. One of these crazy chicas put my phone number all over the cyber world about a year ago. So I had changed my number. Whippings did nothing to me. Look, like I said, I don't know how it's gonna play out, but like I have a child that he got whoopings. You know what's so funny? My oldest son, his mom, she beat him. Like his mama beat him. She went past whooping. But it's funny over here. If when he lived here, I could barely discipline him without him blowing up. Listen to what I'm telling y'all. My son, as a teenager, 15, 16 years old, he would be so shamed by what he did sometimes, and I didn't react physically to him. It seemed like he was used to he would rather take the whooping and get it over with. Then his dad pointing out every day, well, motherfucker, you gonna do this today. You gonna do that every day. It seemed like he had got trained to take the ass whooping. And like I said earlier, pain don't last forever. I agree with that statement. I don't know if you whoopings help my child. Well, we gonna see how it play out, Diva. You could say that now. You don't know how it play out. She's still a child. She's still a child. And I'm not saying you wrong for whooping your child. I'm definitely not saying that. So don't take that. I'm saying you don't know. You have to watch how it plays out. I thought I was doing everything right with my oldest daughter, right? Man, I thought I was doing everything right with my oldest child. She never been whooped. She was a daddy's girl. I talked to her on the phone every day. She came to me for everything. I thought I was doing everything right. But you didn't realize the trauma that the child experienced until she was older and it played out. And then these people have certain little issues and quirks and this, that, and the other that comes from their childhood. That is another form of there. It's like 5 different. I think it's four different forms they say of parenting: authoritative, and you got non-indulgent. Then you got what was the other one? She was from a broken home. Yeah, that is true. Because you know what? Let's just keep it real. At the end of the day, it's because we care. You know, most of the, I'm not going to say all the time, because you got certain instances where, you know, the children don't deserve none of the behavior that they're receiving, right? Because the parent has issues. See, but you know what? That's the problem. In here, we not talking about our issues. We talking about some children that we supposed to guide and direct. We not talking about our issues. I hear a lot of, and you know, I purposely let this conversation go on a long way so I could get y'all to say what y'all really felt. You know what I'm saying? I purposely let, we not talking about our issues. I ain't seen too many people talking about their issues in here. We're talking about the issues of the children. But the issues of your growing up and your childhood are quite evident in some of these comments in the chat, as are the comments that I'm making, right? Am I not being right? This is what it says, especially as it pertains to spankings. It shifts the focus to the parent's behavior. It's not the kid's behavior. Now we gotta analyze the parent's behavior. Look, I ain't got issues. Hey, sex appeal. Shout out to my family in the Philippines, my Panay Queens. I see y'all. Nah, main event. I was with you the whole way. But the purpose of this is to not let people, you want people to not feel bad about decisions they've made. You want them to work on behaviors that may be questionable, that maybe they 100% don't even feel adequate with. You know what I'm saying? I want people to be able to talk freely. I'm not here to judge anybody because I have spanked and I have not spanked. To spank or not to spank. I'm of the discipline and take all that shit away. Oh man. Joy hate. Look, I'm gonna tell you, I'm the Punisher. Now Joy talk a lot of shit, right? But she's at the end of the day a mom. She don't like to see her kids sad, upset, hurt, without. You feel me? Our kids ain't without shit. When I tell you, especially for this fucking pandemic and all that, they got all the things that they could ever. My son is probably the most happiest that this pandemic happened than any kid on planet Earth. This is right up his ball. Oh, we got to stay home. I ain't gotta go nowhere. I can do this shit all day. Oh, he's loving this. I ain't gotta go run. I ain't gotta. He loving it. The kids got everything they want. So the only viable alternative, like me, I tell him, I'm not paying that Xbox Live shit no more. Try to get on Xbox Live tomorrow and see if that shit don't bump you right off. You know what I'm saying? But here's the kicker. A child, for the most part, not all kids, we speaking in generalities here. A kid, for the most part, is only going to do enough to pacify their parents, right? They only going to do enough. You say clean your room and this, that, and other. They're not going to clean the room and the living room and then go take out the trash in the kitchen. Nah, that shit ain't finna happen. That shit ain't finna happen. Real talk. They're gonna clean that room up. I mean, I'm done cleaning the room. Can I get back on now? Can I get back on the Xbox? I believe in that. Like, as a parent, that's where I need work. Is trying to get my kids to understand the importance of work. That's the one thing that I ain't gonna lie, my stepfather did teach me growing up, was the value of work. You know what I mean? Right. They gonna do just enough to pacify you. You tell them to read a chapter, they probably only gonna read a chapter. You'll be very lucky if your kid loves to read or whatnot, and they read 2, 3 more chapters on their own. Yeah. What you can do is not do anything. Sometimes maybe, but like I said, it's a very touchy subject because you don't want anybody to ever feel like, oh, you doing a bad job. It's not a bad job parenting. It's like either it's what you know because that's how you were brought up. All I'm saying is, as a parent, because we're not perfect beings, be willing to be open-minded to other forms of teaching and educating your kid. That's a powerful statement. Well, okay. Let me see. Hold on. Alternatives to spanking. Negative consequences that will reinforce your rules without hurting your child, such as removing privileges. We discussed that, right? If your child colors on the walls, a logical consequence would be to have them to wash the walls. Restitution in the form of instead of punishment, your child is you have to teach your child a new skill. See, some people don't want to do that because then, it's lazy parenting. Because I think sometimes a whooping is I don't want to say easiest because that sounds fucking horrible. But it's the easiest and fastest way to get it over and done with. Pat, 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 pat. And then you out, right? But again, like we said earlier, it has a lot longer lasting effect than you may think. Right. That's true, sunshine. Yeah. My thing is this. These conversations are not used as arguments. These are supposed to be used as tools. Like I said, open your mind to go read. Go to the verywellfamily.com. Read some articles. Google some shit. I mean, because ultimately, if it's really about your kid, it's not about you. Yeah, please hit the thumbs up. I don't know how many thumbs up we got, but make sure y'all hit them for me. Yeah. But ultimately, you can do the best job you can as a parent, and it still wouldn't be enough. All you have to do as a parent is everything in your power. Everything in your power. Some things ain't in your power. Some things ain't in your power. That go for you and me both. Y'all seen me yesterday, right? Right, plus size? I was live. My daughter walked up to me with her laptop. Daddy, I need help. Well, everybody else had to go on pause. Even though streaming and media and all that is what I do. Yeah, we got to be a teacher and everything else now. But I think it's our obligation to really, guide our kids into adulthood with as little baggage as possible. You understand what I'm saying? As little as possible. And if that's none, that's none. Because that will be as little as possible, right? If that's none, that's none. Right, we are their first teacher anyway. That's a fact. Because I know for sure I was both of my kids' first teacher. Yeah, that's a fact. When it came to ABCs, and I that was all day, every day. Yeah, and it's okay if you look back and, like I said, you realize maybe some of the things you were doing weren't up to par. You understand? It's okay. Because, like I said, either you doing what you saw growing up or experienced growing up. You know what I mean? Or you just working. You don't have all the right tools in place to make the best decisions necessary. But like I said, don't be afraid to be like, man, you know what? Because I did it. I said, man, I can't keep whooping Mo. I ain't gonna tell Mo that. Cause it'll, I ain't gonna tell Mo that, but like, I'm not happy with that. You know what I mean? I'm not happy. I'm not happy with that feeling. I'm not happy with the feeling he has. I'm not happy with the feeling I have. So to me, it can't be good, right? I know this. When I sit down with my son and I have a meaningful talk with my son, I feel a lot better. I mean, we could probably all agree on that. If you sit down with your child and have a heart to heart, and it doesn't have to be because of something bad, just to have a heart to heart with your child about life. Sometimes don't wait for things to happen to have certain conversations with your child. This right here, y'all will never see this from me. Y'all would never, and it's a whole bunch of reasons as to why. Because that right there definitely brings shame into your child. There's no way you could tell me whooping your child in front of strangers in a public place with people watching, that's not going to affect your child. And he was angry. There is no way you can sit there, none of y'all, and tell me. If y'all look at that video, we'll look at it again, just so y'all can see. Look at her. She was scared to get her. She tried to cover her legs. The little girl tried to cover her legs. Now, when that kid get older, and he walk into something, and then you wonder why people are violent. You wonder why children are violent. These teenagers shooting up schools and this, that, and the other. It may not have been because of a spanking, but it was some kind of shaming, some kind of bullying. It's all abuse to a certain degree. First of all, you're going to discipline your child. You discipline them in a privacy. You discipline them as you would. Okay, so Sunshine, by that meaning, would it be okay for your spouse to cuss you out and slap you? Would it be okay? But you're not a child though, right? So you're going to say you're not a child. So it's different. You wouldn't feel ashamed. Let's just take the slap out of it, right? Let's just say your husband chastised you in front of mixed company. You wouldn't be happy with that. Would you be happy with that? If your mate chastised you in front of mixed company, definitely you would not. You're an amazing person, Marilyn. Way to go, sex appeal. It's happened, but you didn't care for it. And I guarantee you being ashamed and, hey, what's up, treasure? You feeling that way in front of mixed cat. That's not my thing. Is things like that, first of all, need to be handled at home. Okay? Because he very well, you see how small that child was? Look, let me show you again. That kid is little enough, he could have picked both them kids up at the same time and walked them to the car. If it's that serious, you put whatever y'all was doing, you could put that on hold. If it's that serious to the point where you have to put your hands on your child, you could put all that on hold. He is a good kid, man. He is definitely a good kid. And I do not hit him. So you ain't gotta worry about that. I just don't feel like I used to think it was all those things is traumatizing to a kid if you think about it. You showing up in that class. You know, it's all a work in progress, man. The number one thing is to always have your child's best interests in mind. You're gonna make mistakes as a parent. Um, this just to open your eyes, hopefully, to some people that, you know what, maybe I need to go read a book. Maybe oh, and this shout out to Curvy. I don't know if I showed y'all this, but I did go get the book. I had Joy order that shit for me the same day. 5 love languages. We ain't playing around over here. We want the knowledge. The knowledge is everything. Don't touch the kids. All I have to do is talk to make her understand. And that's great. Mine have never acted up in public for me to do that. We don't know what that kid did, though. Right? We just looking at it. We don't know what that kid did. We see that kid getting his ass whooped. I do know that. I don't know what that kid did. He might have just got off the chair one too many times. Who knows? I don't know. So sweetness. Nothing was worth that. You never know, because it's not you, what event your child is going to have embedded in their brain for the rest of their life in terms of discipline. Right. What is he doing to him in private if that's what he's willing to do in public? That's a great point, Queen Dopest. That's a great point. And I'm going to be honest. Like my youngest son, Mo, he acts different than any child I've ever, he's got a naturally suspicious look. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times he just looks naturally suspicious. And he ain't doing nothing. It's just how he is. You be like, what you doing? I don't believe you. Give me your phone. And you go look at his phone. He's literally doing exactly what he said he was doing. You know what I mean? Sometimes he just got, he's a private person. So, like, if you go in his room, he get to, like, hide and shit, and he ain't even doing nothing. And it always confused me and Joy, like, why does he do that? He's not even doing nothing. We be low-key thinking he talking to a girl or looking on some adult sites he ain't supposed to be looking on. And he ain't. He'll be looking at people playing Fortnite on YouTube. But look, when we come in the room, he be like this. He'll be on his phone. And I do this on purpose. I just bust his door open here. I be like, son, what are you doing? Nothing. Nah, son. I'm going to ask you again. Tell me what you're doing. Because if I find out you're doing, you finna lose all of this. Phone, computer, everything. I grabbed the phone from him. I snatched the phone. He ain't doing shit. He ain't doing shit. It's just him. It's just him. It's just him. Like, he loved. My mom used to carry a paint stick. Man, it got to the point my mom was whooping me. I was laughing. I'm going to just keep it real. Like, really? All 100 pounds of you? Really? All 100 pounds of you? But on the flip side, I had a dad that was very physical. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I just, again, I want to thank Plus Size Chick for bringing this topic. It's a great topic. I think it's always best. And I appreciate everybody being open, honest, That's dope because you can't make any progress when people ain't being totally forthcoming. Um, so I appreciate that from everybody in the broadcast. Make sure you guys continue to try to get at least one new person to come in here every day. That should be a focus of my One Love Nation, is to find one person to come in here and get some of this brain food, or feed our brains with some of that brain food, one or the other. You know what I mean? Because that's what, at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. It's about our growth. It's about us learning about different people, different mindsets. I just know what didn't work for me. You know what I mean? And the way I don't really even have like bad memories of my mom whooping me. I have bad memories of my dad whooping me though. See, my dad used to do out of anger, so it was never, wasn't never no small ass whoopings. You know what I mean? Yeah, make sure you guys share this to your Facebook, Twitter. You know, every view counts. We on this march to that 4,000 watch hours, y'all. That's the family mission. Again, make sure you guys text me. Use the family chat. Some of you guys still need to download Live Me and join that family chat. I surprised Queen Dopest this morning. I loved it. Had to go turn up on the Queen a little bit. My dad would cry when he would beat me. Well, how did that make you feel though? Anything for you, Queen Dopest. That couldn't be a good feeling. Games to play. Oh yeah, cause we still haven't, we gonna try to do that ASAP. I'm gonna figure out. I still gotta figure. I'm working this schedule thing out. Curvy, there she go. I just brought her up. Curvy, I told y'all what I'm playing. Curvy, that's who brought the book the book up. That's who recommended that book. Was Curvy Nia. What's up, Curvy? I would take him as a joke. So in the end, it really didn't serve a purpose, right? Other than make him feel bad and make you feel awkward. I mean, for the most part, unless you go overboard, most kids as they grow up, they're gonna appreciate you for being a parent. Yeah, I got it. I'm reading this right now, so I ain't even gonna lie to you. I've been nibbling, getting back refreshed on this. Yeah, I've been reading this, so I haven't really got to it yet, but I am. Yeah, but that's what I said. When you become an adult, when you become an adult, you most, unless they went too far, most people do appreciate that their parents even gave a fuck. Because it's a lot of kids, their parents don't even give a fuck. But I'm going to keep it real. I'd rather my dad not gave a fuck at all than the abuse he put on me and my brother. You know what's so crazy, though? He never abused my sister because me and my brother always told him, like, all bets is off. If you do what you did to me and my brother, you do that to my sister, you know, I'm not going to say what we threatened him with, but yeah, that part. That's one thing we wasn't gonna allow. Me and my brother LaRon, we was like, you not, because by the time she was, 6, 5, 6, we was already 15, 16. My brother was gang banging heavy already. We was like, you not gonna do that to my little sister. And she probably needed that shit more than anybody. She never got a whooping, and she more aggressive than anybody I know. Her aggression came from neglect. So it's a lot of ways you can fuck up your child, and spanking ain't the only one. Not giving a fuck can be just as damaging. I told my mom the other day I wouldn't trade my childhood for nothing. It's what I know. It's all I mean. I got great memories as a child. I got some bad memories. You know what I mean? It sucks when your parents are the cause of your bad memories, though. That's never good. It always would be a little bit better if your bad childhood memories came from outside your home. To me, that's my thinking. But I appreciate let me see what my man's name was again. Media came here with some good conversation. Main Event Media, that was dope. I appreciate you. That's why we got each other. Please stop acting like you got all the answers. I don't think none of us got all the answers, but we can work together to get them. We definitely can work together to get them. So, let me tell y'all where I got very well. I think I spelled it very well, family. So, for some of y'all, copy that. Go check it out. They got things on there. Disagree, agree. Thing is to have the knowledge. To have the knowledge. Don't overlook it. Your kids are important. They're the most important thing to all of us. They're our future. You know what I mean? So check that out. I'm sure there's other things that y'all can go read up on, and as it pertains to this, and share it with us. Put in the family chat. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I got way worse feelings about other things than spankings from my parents, to be real. That's true. And some people definitely didn't have it as bad. It go both ways, hustle. It go both ways. That's what I don't want. Some people say it's good for your kid to have a healthy fear and respect. I don't want my kid to have no fear of me in no kind of way. I really don't. Respect and love is the only things I desire from my children. Period. I hear my youngest daughter, she would go off on her brother all the time. Your dad get up and work all day, and you don't do nothing but sit in here. She 8 years old. She be going, that boy walk out the room. He 11. She be like, you sit in here, you break his controllers, you do this, you do that, and she be going off on it. He just walk out the room. I think it's the funniest shit ever. So she already got the concept in her head that her parents work hard to provide them for these are the things I want to leave them with, more so than if you fuck up, I'm gonna whoop your ass, and you know You know what I mean? I would. The great thing is if both of my youngest two children grow into adults and being able to say, I don't remember my dad ever putting his hands on me like that out of anger or anything like that, and I turned out okay. That could be the best possible outcome, right? I love you, Mercedes. Have a great day at work. Right, right. So I think um one form of discipline is work. You know, that's one thing I think my stepdad did that I didn't mind is compared to the mental abuse that I dealt with him. I didn't mind it, you know. The things I ain't gonna lie, to this day, when it comes to like cleaning certain things, like I think about some of the shit that he taught me. Like even now, like 30 plus years later, I still think about some of the things that he taught me when it comes to cleaning up, or when I'm in the yard doing yard work. Uh, that's the only person I remember teaching me how to do yard work or making me get up and go do yard work. You know what I mean? So life is all about memories, man. Let's continue to make good ones. Y'all know the slogan. I'm gonna get out of here. Free love is the best love. If you guys have any interesting topics like this, please feel free to reach out to me, because this is about. I was telling somebody, I actually told plus size chick this the other day. She was like, I have great topics, but I don't know if it's what you want to talk about. This isn't just about King Dopest. This is about us. It's about all of us. So whatever's on your mind, whatever we could talk about to maybe bring clarity or spread the message that you want to spread, that's what this is all about. Passion Hayes. Yeah. Parenting is great risk, great reward. You know what I'm saying? It's a great risk, but it has a great reward when you end up raising fine children. I'm fortunate to have my children. I'm just fortunate. I'm blessed. You know what I mean? I think everybody can just tell. I know it's you, Nikki. Can tell, like, when I speak about my kids, that how much I love my children. Period. You know what I mean? Just even speaking about my kids evokes this this pride in me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's even speaking about them. So it's like either you have that or you don't. I don't know. I can wait, because for them to get grown, that means I'm going to be old as a motherfucker. I could wait. Slow down. That shit ticking too fast. You know, real shit. Did you follow me on Instagram, Fairy? Cause Fairy, I want to talk about, cause you got a great story, love. You got a great story. Like, you want to, like, for real. I love you to death, like, for real. Fairy me, that's good people right there, man. She go through a struggle. I wish she got her own struggle. Real shit. I want to see how I could bring that and put that into a topic. Yeah. Yeah, real shit. But anyway, hit me up, Fairy Me. Y'all know the slogan. Free love is the best love. I only know one love. I will see y'all out there in those streaming streets. Remember, you guys, make sure y'all get just one person a day to come check the page out and hit the likes on on the videos? You did? Okay. Yeah. So we gonna discuss some things about what's going on. My oldest son will be grown in 5 years. Lord. Yeah, we will. We could talk about that tomorrow. Yeah, Kirby. Uh, brother Blake. Brother Blake got shot in Wisconsin yesterday in front of his kids. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of this stuff. If y'all watch we're gonna talk about it tomorrow because I don't want to muck up. This was a great topic, so I want to leave it on this topic. I love y'all, and we're gonna talk about all that bullshit tomorrow. Bullshit ass Republicans and a bullshit ass police tomorrow. All right.